Stony Point used to have a supermarket, had a movie theater, even had a skating rink. One time it even had its own newspaper. What's become of it? I think the people of the town deserve better than they have right now. Number one, I think we need a new master plan for the town, and I think it should be addressed immediately and forthwith. As soon as I take office, we're going to start immediately to get a new master plan in place. I want Stony Point to have a vibrant waterfront, a neighbor-friendly retail business area. I think Stony Pointers deserve to have a town center that reflects its historic character, its beauty, and which is economically viable. I think these are important elements for our town. We need to have a welcoming attitude for clean and high-tech businesses and industry for this town. We've got a very small industrial area. It should be used for the best interest of all of the people of Stony Point. We need to be sure that the Lovett site is clean and green and ready for new development. The loss of the Lovett site is, to me, a disaster for this town. It certainly has been a disaster for those of us who pay taxes. We need to be sure that our town is involved in the bowline dispute for the protection of our diminishing school tax base. The bowline dispute, as you all know, does not affect Stony Point directly. It's not part of our town. It's a have-a-straw problem. But have-a-straw problems have a way of overflowing into Stony Point because we share the common school tax base. We have to get to work immediately to intervene in disputes with the have-a-straw on the bowline project to make sure that we do not have another Lovett site down there. We should have a downtown area in Stony Point with green space. We also need a Parents' Council on Youth with special attention to teen activities. Lack of activities for the teenagers, who I concede are the most difficult ones to entertain. We all know what teenagers want. They want to hang out. They reject anything that is sponsored by parents. Nonetheless, I think the parents in our town can come together and develop programs that will interest our teenagers and keep them occupied. If you want further information, I urge you to visit the Republican website, which is at votestonypoint09.com, where you can look at our entire platform. Our platform incorporates all of these ideas and more. I would like to address some of the issues that I would undertake as supervisor if you choose to elect me this year. First, I would want an immediate inventory of all of the town's assets. And I'm not talking merely about the physical assets, but the human assets that the town has, the employees that the town has, and the citizens that we have who can all chip in to help make this town a more family-friendly place to live. We need to make the most of the town's personnel and their skills for the benefit of all of our residents. We also need the public to come together. We have an amazing array of talent in our town. We've been knocking on doors and meeting many of those people. We have some outstanding people here, all of whom are willing to contribute their expertise to the town. We need to make much better use of modern technology in the town. Let me point out our receiver of taxes who is here, Kathy Campbell-Lyons, who's taken over the tax office. She has a lot of great ideas. We've been talking about the problems that people are having paying their school taxes now. School taxes are not, as you know, within the control of the town. They're a question for the school district. But it would be very helpful if people could pay them in installments. We've been unsuccessful in implementing that. But if we simply had a credit card machine in the tax office, people could easily put their taxes on their credit card and pay them quarterly or on a schedule that would fit their needs. It's heartbreaking to talk to Kathy about the people who come into her office literally crying because they cannot afford to pay the school taxes in one lump sum. She's prepared to move ahead with that plan. Why it has never been done in this town is astonishing to me. I wonder how many of you have visited the town's website. I went there to find some information, and I was sadly disappointed. In this day and age of electronics, to have a website which does not even have basic information on it is embarrassing. Our website should have the town budget on it. We're now in the process in the town of developing the budget for the coming year. The proposed budget should be on that website so that there can be public input as to that proposed budget. There should be a citizens' council on budget matters to make suggestions to the board after the budget is reviewed. There's no reason why a starter budget, a preliminary budget, could not be put up on that website. Why we have to search or file freedom of information forms to get the basic information on the town budget is astonishing to me. We have to watch costs in this town. We need better control on it. I don't know what has happened, but I do know that we recently discovered that in the first 3 quarters of this year, we have paid to our town attorneys over $350,000. That means over the course of a year, we're going to be very close to $500,000 in attorney's fees on litigation, which I know something about from my experience in life. Litigation appears to be frivolous and unprofitable for the town. Under the last Republican administration, we paid our town attorney about $60,000 a year. A far cry from the $500,000 that the town is currently paying. And that figure, I should point out to you, does not include private billings that the town attorney is allowed to make to people who make presentations to the planning board and the zoning board. In short, this town should not be rewarding failures. It should reward success. This town is set for success in the future. There's so much that we can do in this town. Is that my ring?
You have 2 minutes. A little less than 2 minutes.
Okay, I lose track. Let me tell you just a brief bit about myself, since nobody had any questions on those issues. I have served this town since I have been here as town attorney, as deputy supervisor, as town judge. I served the county of Rockland as an assistant district attorney under 2 different district attorneys, and I was fortunate to be elected to the Supreme Court, where I served the state of New York for 14 years. My experience and background are what this town needs. I want to do this job for the town. I'm currently retired. I got out of the judging business, and I was enjoying my retirement. But too many people came to me and said, "Are you going to keep complaining about the way the town runs, or are you going to do something about it?" I'm ready to come out of retirement and work for this town. I pledge to you this. The term is 2 years for supervisor, and we all know that we can't accomplish much in 2 years. I do not want to commit myself for the future, so I will commit myself to this. I will only do 10 years as supervisor. At the end of the 10-year period, we can revisit that issue, and I'll determine whether I want to run again. After my first 5 terms, I'll be happy to discuss whether I want to go forward. My grandfather was my age. He ran for the first time for Commissioner of Public Welfare in Rockland County, and he served in that job for 8 years with some distinction.